Okay, this is the Dove Lady talking at you again today and showing you the curved line balls. The curved line balls is a name I gave these little ball looking structures inside this. It looks like a cocoon, but it's actually an orb. You can see the little telltale line around the edges of it. I better get this straight on here and quit wiggling it so much. And when I noticed them, I started noticing them in many other pictures after that. And I took note of them, how that they morphed and how that they multiplied inside the orbs. They're not actually inside the orb, though. What is the truth about this is that the orb is like a viewing device, like you were looking through binoculars. So you see it in the round, but this is everything that you see there. There's an extension of it. When I'm taking the pictures, I can see that it continues on. The landscape behind that will be different if I move to the right or left or up or down. Let me put this in a big mode. And so it's like, okay, so it's not all in one orb, just you're seeing a portion of what's there to see because the orb is like a seeing device, as far as I'm concerned. This is a popular one that I made a long time ago, and I didn't know those little X's in it were, at that time, were what would become the curved line balls, but there's several little, what I call X's. I'll bring one up, like this one right here. That's definitely making the curved line balls. I got a communication concerning these curved line balls. I talked about it in a video I made, a couple of them. I'm going to talk about it again because I'm talking about the curved line balls. I kept wanting to talk to a physicist, but they're very hard to get their attention. When I do go to a channel where it says you can talk to one of them, I tell them I have pictures to show them of what I think is the microscopic subatomic zone of life. And they just say things like, oh, you're looking at dust or bugs or something like that, and they don't bother to even look. But I know there must be some physicist with an open mind out there. But nevertheless, I got a communication, but not from a physicist, unless it's one of another kind of reality, because it was an entity. It didn't speak to me. It wrote to me in my Google Drive. I had a file called, excuse me, called The Power of Love. And I had never put any content. I lost my inspiration after I made the file and titled it. So one day I was cleaning up files like that I hadn't done anything with, and I came across that file, and it had content. And the content was a message to me. I'm going to go to it and show it to you on my other screen. And it was a message to me that was very personal, and one nobody would know how to write unless they knew my innermost thoughts, because it talked about something I've never told anyone. Let me show you a few more of these curved line balls, though. Always when I go to another screen, I have to fight with it to get it to move for me again. And you see these curved line balls morph and stretch and change colors and blend in such a way that you don't recognize them anymore. But when they first began, they looked like a little X, like that right there. And sometimes they look like a bone because that's where 2 or 4 of them are coming together. They don't quite touch, it seems, until they just start morphing into one another. It looked like a little pinch. Some lines going one way and then lines going the opposite way. I've learned to recognize them in some of the pictures I've taken of light. When I didn't recognize them, I'd go back and look at those old pictures and I can see them. They were there all along. Now they're very colorful. They're beginning to be very colorful. And I know this has to be something evolving within the orb. And it's repeating itself and becoming colorful, and I get it in all stages. Those look like little bats. And there's some in there, actually, in that one. Now, this is someone else's picture. I think her name's Diane. She has a YouTube channel, and she gets a lot of pictures of orbs. She takes her pictures a little differently than I do. And she gets them usually outdoors. And there's what looks like the curved line balls in this picture she took. And I thought, oh, they're in other people's pictures. Here's another one she took, and you can kind of see it right there. I don't know if that's going to translate over good. And this is another of hers, and you can kind of see it right in there. See the curved line balls? Right in there. And so I'm thinking, this is happening for more than just me. Seeing this. And see, sometimes they make pretty much of the ball, but you can see almost all the roundness of one side of that. But mostly I just get the two, where the two come together, and also four come together sometime. And see, now this one is full of them because they multiply. So I kept wondering, what is this? What is this showing me? Well, you know what it's like when you don't get answers. You just speculate. And that's what I do. So I've done a lot of speculation about what these might be. And then I got this message. Oh, and that's another person's picture that they took. And right in here you can see curved line balls. It's not showing up real good in this camera, but I see them. I see them over and over again. And you will be excited to know what it is. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, I'm going to go over to the screen. This is the message that came to me that was written into The Power of Love file in my Google Drive. And I'll bring it up so you can see the words better. I want to say right away that I'm willing to get into this only because you have expressed an interest in doing it. I have no agenda but love for you and for all of that which is created. I'm not a being who has time for taking little trips of fantasy into other realms for the fun of it. I'm serious, and I wish that to be known. I have little concern for those who believe not, nor for those who wish to start a new religion of me. I will shut down quickly if I see that occurring. So right there I thought, oh, something wants to speak through me. If this comes back again, but so far it's been over. That was last year around July, and it's almost a year now. I haven't gotten any more messages this way. Anyway, to continue, Grace, you are a very good person, and you do not even know it yet. I see you judge yourself as though you were not any good, only maybe just a little bit good. I'm telling you that we need more like you, and if we can accomplish this, all will be healed that is going wrong. I'm going to give you a letter of sorts in which you can address those scientists who would say that the orbs you take pictures of are nothing more than some kind of easily explained phenomena. And when I read that, I thought, wow, I've got something that's telling me about my orbs that I take pictures of. I'm going to ask them to consider how that you are able to see light in the process of bonding itself into the curved lined balls. See, they're speaking my words that I made up for that. What the curved line balls are is a process in which matter is being put together. It will manifest for you in due time. It will be all that you want it to be, and if you are not sure what you want, it knows for you that you want something you have asked for many times. Now, I was getting really excited about that because this light I knew was intelligent. It is that which is both silver and gold and fruit. It will be accomplished in time, and you will have it for evidence to use it for an example. It will be good to see, for you doubt a lot, and we want you to cease from doubting. I know that is hard to do, but with the help we will provide, you will be able to do it. To erase all doubt is always the hardest kind of thing for people to do. It requires one to deny what is and to relax and know and appreciate. So I'll tell you what it was that I had imagined in my mind and never told anybody about, was that if I could manifest something, it would be a silver platter filled with gold apples made of pure gold. So that's why it says what you have asked for, that it's both silver and gold and fruit. And whoever wrote this knew my mind. And I was pretty impressed. And there's a little bit more. This is all there is more. It's just that for us to begin to give you the words that you seem to want, it's not easy for us because we don't know what you want to understand. Okay, about time. It is a construct as you know it to be, and it is used by God, or all that is, as a way of playing out for those parts of himself all the dramas in which you are presented with themes to test and serve to grow you into a better person. It's going to be constructed a little differently from a point in time which is fast approaching. It will be no longer a long wait until what you believe to be true comes into existence. It is already working that way for many to a certain degree. It will increase, and you will walk in such a state of grace that you will find life to be so pleasant that you are not ever dissatisfied. And it ended there. That was the end. Since then, I haven't heard any more of this in that manner. But here's those curved line balls. I'm still getting them in my pictures. This one I took a long time ago. These orbs are all folded up. Oh, noises come in the house. Let me shut my door. And see, I didn't recognize that little X in there as being one of those beginnings of the curved line balls. And then when I look back at the older pictures I'd taken, I could see, yeah. And look, this one makes it look like this is churning from one orb to another. What's in these curved line balls? They're mixing, and it's like a formula is being put together, a formula of light. I sure wish I could understand it. See how you can see some of them in these. It gets to where you can only see parts of them, and then they get indistinguishable from other things. I was looking at this one today, and I realized that looks like two curved line balls right there where I'm pointing. But look what they did. They morphed into all those other colors. And there's some. Now, I don't know why scientists wouldn't think this to be very, very, very interesting. Especially to see all of these circles. Look how many circles there are that are little bitty in the background there. And there's thick ones, and there's ones that are sort of intertwined with others. And it's all just a very beautiful world of light. I think it's the invisible that the visible comes forth from. You can't touch this, and it's all around you. So it's not tangible. But, you know, it seems to be that it has dimension to it, depth and layers. Okay, that's where it ended. That's a picture of right there. I'm going to do another video about that. I get this thing that's like I call it well, what did I call that? This brown thing is like a blob of stuff that would move into all my pictures. And I thought things inside the orb that I saw did not interfere with other things. But look, this yellow, that's another energy, I guess, has moved into the side of the blob. And it looks like it's punched it in a little bit. But it went right back to being the same shape it was after that. Anyway, these aren't going to be long videos. I'm going to stick to one subject. This one was the curved line balls and the communication that I received. And I'm still being patient, waiting and hoping for that help I said I would get. I mean, it said that I would get. And I'm hoping to get that larger report that I could maybe give to scientists. Because they speak a different language than me. I listen to them talk about things, and I don't understand their words. I don't understand. But it sounds like, oh, they know what they're talking about because they're throwing out there lots of things they call facts. But really, I think they're dealing with a lot of theory themselves that they don't really know. Because they don't really know this. They don't really know that we can see this invisible world. And I think that the people that are going to bring forth anything like this and make it known are people who are not invested in a theory or a thing they've taught all their life, that they're making a living. The dog out there go. They're making a living out of their studies. I mean, I would imagine they have a salary. And if they get off into this woo-woo stuff, they might that living might be threatened, because they might say, you've gone crazy on us. We don't need you anymore, and they lose their job. So that is something people have to consider. But I don't, because I'm not making any living out of this. I have nothing to lose. So it's going to be people like me who don't have a reputation based on beliefs that are already set out there like they were so true that you can't veer from it the slightest bit. So people like myself and others who follow in these footsteps and who will say, hey, I'm going to talk about what I see. I'm not going to be afraid. Even though I don't understand the science of quantum physics, and I don't. I do understand that I'm getting pictures of something, and I have, let me show you, go back to my library. I have thousands of pictures. I could literally stroll down through these for maybe 15 minutes before I got to where I couldn't scroll anymore. As a matter of fact, I tell myself, why do you take so many pictures? But I'm always finding something different the light is doing. And so I want to keep up with it. But I do have a tremendous amount of pictures, which I would love to share with the scientists. I would send them all the pictures I have if they wanted them, and let them look at them. Let them find out that it isn't lens flare or bugs or dust. If it's dust, we better study dust, because there's something to this. Anyway, I could go on and on, but I often write words into my, like right here, I write words. I'm going to make a book of light one of these days, maybe real soon. So this is the Dove Lady, and I've talked at you enough on this video. So if you have any comments, feel free to make them. And if you have any suggestions of how better to study this, well, you can make those suggestions too. I don't mind comments, even if they're very long ones. I like long ones. I won't put up with people talking ugly, though, if they start using bad language. Even if you have contradictory things to say, you can say it in a nice way, and I will honor that, but don't talk ugly. That's one thing I just won't go there. I'll erase your comment. I don't get a lot of that. I used to, but people who've looked at enough of my videos, I think they've changed their mind, maybe, that it's not just bugs or dust or some silly lady that doesn't know what she's talking about. Because what I'm looking at is something, a very colorful world of light. And it's something worth studying, and I think it's the greatest thing in the world to study, because everything is made of light. It's like studying who we are and who everything else around us are, and everything, even in other worlds, even out there in the big old universe. Everything's light. So I will let you go. This is the Dove Lady, over and out for now.